It is the RIOT podcast. Hello.
Hi.
I'm Hudson. That's Nikki.
Hey, welcome to the podcast today.
Yeah, we're here to podcast with you. We're here to, as far as you know, we're going to go back and listen to the whole podcast with you, even though we lived it the first time.
We're holding hands, guys. We're all dancing this dance of this podcast together.
You know, it'd be a funny thing to do.
What?
You know how on DVDs and Blu-rays and whatever, they would have the director's commentary where you can watch the movie.
Sure.
But you can't hear the movie very well because the director is talking about all the behind the scenes stuff.
I don't know how that works with audio.
But I think we should do it with a podcast. We should play a podcast and analyze.
At the same time?
Yeah, give a commentary on the podcast.
I think you would almost have to pause the podcast and comment, have your commentary after it.
It would be a lot to try to listen to.
Yeah, because I think if you didn't have any visual help with it, you wouldn't be able to catch it all. I mean, almost like our intro is kind of a commentary on the show that morning, but I don't know how the other would work.
What if we did a commentary of our next after show food fight? Where we go back.
That would be good. We go back and look.
Yeah.
You're adding work to us.
Yeah. Well, we could totally do it, though.
We could.
It'd be like Mystery Science Theater or something ourselves.
If it works out and we do something like that, I want you to know that was all Hudson's idea. All right. And it came from this moment.
Let us know if you think that would be good for us to analyze. Because a lot of times when we do the food fights, I will go back and watch a little part of them. Yeah. I don't often watch them in full, which I feel like I should. To critique myself. So why don't we just critique ourselves
in front of
live in front of everyone? Yeah.
All right. That might have to happen. I think I'm also working on, so we have a after show tomorrow, which is why it's just fresh on our brain. But I am working too on, everybody's been still asking about us doing our next game adventure.
Oh, yeah.
And they want us to play the power washing game that we skipped out to do Mario Golf last time.
Yeah.
So make sure you follow us on Facebook and YouTube at RadioU RIOT. So you'll get notifications and just kind of extra behind the scenes news on when those next things are planned for.
Yeah, and who doesn't want to watch us play Power Wash Simulator? You wouldn't want to miss that is what I'm trying to say.
You do not want to miss that.
You also don't want to miss the rest of this podcast. If you haven't tuned out by now, stick around because we have a new menu item coming to Little Caesars.
Yeah.
And Nikki's surprisingly on board, it sounds like.
Once you hear about the name, let me know if anybody else is just like me. Suddenly I was interested.
Yep. We have something concerning from Amazon. It's a hand strikes and gives a flower situation where there's something good about it.
But
of course,
wonder.
There's always something to ruin it as well. We have a TikTok trend, surprise, a TikTok health trend that you're not supposed to do, according to doctors. And Nikki has a problem with the coffee.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot about that this morning.
Yeah.
Here, wait. You won't be able to hear it, but it's still full, my coffee cup.
We made it through a whole show and Nikki didn't drink her coffee.
I actually, if I'll know next time it's the maple walnut one, maybe I'll change which creamer I put in it.
Yeah.
I think that could actually help because I put normally the sweet cream creamer in our other coffee and it does not work.
It doesn't work with the maple.
It doesn't work with the maple walnut one, so maybe I'll just try the other creamer we have.
Give something else a shot.
Just let me know. Put a little sign up next time on
I'll just set the bag out.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Beside the coffee maker.
Yeah, that way people know. So
all right.
Hear the whole story and definitely check out the whole podcast. Text and say hey at 877 to RadioU.
And don't forget to subscribe, unsubscribe, and then resubscribe and leave us a really nice rating and review on iTunes.
Man, you're making them work for it.
I want to boost our rankings. It is the RIOT.
Bye, guys.
The RIOT. Just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not good. Wait, isn't that exactly what it means? It's the RIOT on RadioU.
Good news, everyone. It's Friday.
But the FRY one.
Yeah. Oh, you say that like it's a bad thing.
I know. I don't know why.
Yeah. Fries are good.
Yeah, but I actually would prefer just FRIDAY, but we'll take today.
If that meant we could have the rest of the week off,
we'll
then
take it.
I'm in for that. But it is National French Fry Day. We made fun of McDonald's last week because we didn't realize that it actually is National French Fry Day. We thought they were just making up Friday.
We thought they were just being dumb by not choosing a promotion on a Friday instead on a Tuesday, but it turns out that was because this is National French Fry Day that they're doing something to.
It turns out McDonald's is smart and we're the dumb ones.
We didn't know.
We're not as smart as McDonald's. McDonald's is headlining the day of French fry deals because if you get in on their rewards app, which I know it's ridiculous, but I know some people that are really excited about it. They are.
I think that's fine.
I know somebody in particular who's like, anytime I order McDonald's now, help me remember to order on the app.
Is it family?
Yes.
It's family, okay.
So that they can get the rewards.
It's hard when it's family because you want to be supportive.
Yeah.
But, you could see that maybe they're being ridiculous about it, but supportive.
Hey, if they're going to eat at McDonald's anyways, which they are, might as well get rewarded for it.
Might as well.
So free McDonald's fries if you have the McDonald's rewards app. Let's see. Anything else?
It's a free order of medium fries.
Medium fries. That's a good point. Let's see. Checkers/Rallies. You get a $1 any size order of fries, and they're also donating $1 for every order of fries sold today, up to $100,000 to benefit No Kid Hungry.
Is Checkers Rallies a thing still? I mean, obviously, since they're doing Friday.
There's a couple. There's a
few?
I can think of one that's around, maybe two. They're probably not the part of town you would go to, though. You're probably a little... you're a little too well-to-do for those areas.
Yeah. You're funny. Is it not by myself because I'm a little lady? Is that it? Is that what you're
it's
saying?
not as much about that.
I can't go for Friday.
No. There's just, I just can't imagine you being around there. I just don't think there's like a Ross Dress for Less over there and stuff like that. It doesn't seem like where you would go. There's Ollie's in the area, Bargain Outlet. It doesn't seem like you would go to Ollie's
at all.
and
You don't know me at all.
There's a Jack in the Box deal. You can get a free order of curly fries with your mobile app order, but that's only if you use the app. Red Robin says every entree already comes with bottomless fries, but they're offering a 10% discount on gift cards. Oh, and that's all week long. How did they make their way into this article, honestly?
Wendy's is not doing a French fry day specifically, but they're offering a free order of pub fries if you purchase something in the Wendy's app. So basically, try the app for every place you go to.
Yeah, they all want you to order with the app now. I've been using that Wendy's pub fries deal every time I get the chance. As in, like, not that I'm going out of my way to get Wendy's, but if I do, I guess I'm like my family member where if I'm ordering from Wendy's anyways, I might as well get rewarded with some extra pub fries.
The fries don't fall far from the family fry tree. You're just like your other family members.
We've got an archive of everything stupid the Riot has ever said at your fingertips. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So over in New Orleans at the airport, Customs and Border Protection has seized a massive shipment of false eyelashes. 6,000, which is 3,000 pairs. And they were supposed to be imported in from China.
Yeah.
But they did not have like the manufacturer information or the distributor's name on there, so they couldn't be traced back to find out if they were safe, and they weren't approved by the FDA. Nikki, do you know anything about false eyelashes? Why the FDA would be involved with that?
Well, I've never worn falsies. I've never worn those.
Falsies, yeah. Is that what they call them in the
I mean, you'd want to make sure they were like, it's not like cocaine. Yeah. You want to make sure that it's actually eyelashes. Yeah. Because especially, if it's, your eyes are very important and they can be very much worked over by something that's not like approved and not right and has something wrong with it. So I guess they'll have to destroy all those pretty fluttery eyelashes, won't they?
Did you see the picture?
I did.
They're huge.
That's a lot of
them.
So
many of them.
They're very extravagant styles, which also makes you wonder, like, what's going on with them. I know some people are fine with that look, but this is not an everyday eyelash look.
No, this is not. This is definitely next level. And they were going to somewhere in New Orleans. But I was just thinking if they really wanted to like smuggle them in, I thought, why not fashion them into a wig? I bet they would check those still too. You think they check your wig?
Well, they would. Oh,
how would they know?
If someone's bringing it in?
Yeah, no, if you're wearing it.
Oh, yeah. I bet you they would
fashion these into a wig, and you'd look great.
It could be extensions. Hair extensions.
each would actually these are long enough that it could really work. I think that they were not thinking. Now, how would they get all the boxes in? I mean, you can find boxes in the U.S.
Well, I'm not sure.
And the FDA doesn't need to approve boxes.
I think, Hudson, you're making that way more work than it would have been just to, they're okay if these get thrown away.
What?
I'm sure they are.
This is if they were okay, then why were they smuggling them in?
Well, that's a good question of why anybody smuggles anything in. These are not the only thing that were probably smuggled that day.
They probably just didn't realize that the FDA had to get involved with fake eyelashes.
Actually, they do say the biggest thing right now is they cannot guarantee that the eyelashes were not exposed to a disease during manufacturing or whether they were stored properly and kept away from insect-infested areas.
So insects in your eyes.
That's actually the main reason why they just can't track where they're from. Well, so the 6,000 false eyelashes, they then have to, destroy them.
Now you've given us all something else to think about. Is it really worth wearing false eyelashes when you don't know because
if they could track where it was from, then it'd be fine, but since they can't tell you that it's not in a bug thing that has a problem or some sort of disease thing too.
But what about after they get into the country and then the FDA they're like, all right, they're in the country, it's your problem now, and then somebody's storing them improperly and you get an insect infestation. All of a sudden, you have mites in your eyes or something.
Oh, like if something does get, like just normal false eyelashes.
Yeah, that's right.
Listen, beauty can be painful, and you just have to know: is it worth it?
It's worth it. It's worth it to have the mites.
My eyes itch anyway. Yeah, it's just a normal allergy. So what's a mite or two?
Maybe the bites from the mites will give you another beautiful look somehow.
Maybe it plumps.
Yeah, right.
You don't
even have to wear eyeshadow or anything. It just
you're like, my gosh, you're glowing. You're like, thank you. That's a disease.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
How did you get that? It was the mites.
It's
the
wonderful.
Mites in my eyes. Yeah.
I can't track where the disease is from, and so far, all antibiotics are not working.
Yeah, so it's permanent, and
it's a super disease.
Yeah. But it looks great though, so it's all good.
See, that's why you don't let them in, and you just destroy the eyelashes because they could be cursed with some sort of horrible thing.
All those eyelashes
just
going to waste. Oh man, well, I guess it's for the best.
If you've ever asked yourself, just how bad can it get? We've got your answer right here. Worst of the Riot, RadioU.
We've got another TikTok health trend here, and this one involves your teeth.
Oh, so it's not the garlic in the nose anymore?
No, it's not. I've moved past that one. Have you? Did you ever try it?
I never tried. I don't have garlic bulbs or whatever it is. I don't have that.
But you can get them at the store.
No, and I don't think it's probably safe if I just put minced garlic or the one in the jar that I have. Yeah. I don't think I should put that up my nose.
You don't have to put it up your nose. Just hold it nearby.
No, I think it needs to be in your nose. I think that's the whole point of the bulb
It's just you got to smell it. You just got to...
No, it needs to be in there. It needs to touch it.
Oh.
It needs to touch the inside of your nose.
Well, all right. So you're going to leave. You're finally... It took some time. We talked you out of that one.
I'm moving on to a new one.
But have you seen the one where you use a Mr. Clean magic eraser for your teeth?
For the teeth. I did. I saw... this one's been around for a bit. I saw the dentist review it.
Yeah.
Because there's dentist or dental TikTok.
Yeah.
And they said...
Dentalk.
Without saying do it, they actually said it could kind of work.
What?
Yeah, they did.
That's not what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing a woman who says, it's funny, she's like, I go to the dentist. You just wonder all about her story because she says, I go to the dentist and they tell me that I have the healthiest, strongest, cleanest teeth.
Yeah.
And she says, I don't use fluoride, though. When the dentist says use your fluoride, she doesn't do that. She does oil pulling and then she uses a magic eraser. That's her teeth hack. And her teeth do look pretty white. I'll give her that. But the dental community is coming back at her saying, no, don't put a magic eraser in your mouth because the reason it might work is because magic erasers are actually very, very, very fine sandpaper.
Oh.
So they are whitening your teeth because they're scrubbing everything off of it, including your enamel.
Which you're supposed to have.
Yeah, you need that. The enamel is part of what makes teeth.
Hudson, it's really hard on TikTok because everybody's like, yes or no, yes or no. Like, you just don't know what to do.
You just want to form your own path. Form your own decisions and your own...
I think deep down we all know the magic erasers on the teeth are probably not the best thing.
Yeah, maybe not. And so dentists are saying that. And then, I mean, you don't have to look much further than the package of the magic eraser. I almost call them dental erasers.
Listen, look at his teeth, though. Oh, he doesn't smile with his teeth open. That's why he doesn't have teeth.
No, but he does have a shiny head. Maybe he's been using the... Mr. Eraser on the on his head to scrub his hair off.
Well, I had seen that.
It's working on that.
I had seen that it works though. But I mean, you don't really probably want to do that.
No, it says that if you use the magic eraser on your skin or other parts of the body, it will likely cause abrasions. And you're also supposed to keep it out of reach of toddlers and pets to avoid accidental ingestion.
And we've learned that we're basically just toddlers, so
we really
need to be protected from these things.
It repeatedly is surprising that people will what people will put in their mouths even as we grow up.
If I look at the price too, it seems like it's just as expensive as teeth whitening or like toothpaste that has whitening stuff in it. But everybody's looking for a trick.
Yeah, but you can get like store brand Mr. Clean erasers, and they're the same thing. I bet you they would work just as well. But yeah, I don't know about those. See, it always seems like those whitening strips and stuff. I never see that they are that effective. I know that they say they are on the package, but I've never seen somebody that's like, I use the whitening strips and look how great my teeth are.
If you do you know what you have to do?
What do you have to do?
You have to support them and say it looks good. It's like, hey, I really noticed a difference because they went through all that whitening.
To be honest with you, I always feel that the people that want to give you advice, especially when it comes to teeth, are the people that you look at their teeth and you're like, oh, I don't want to listen to you. You know?
Are they the magic eraser users?
It looks like they've been chewing on a corn cob or something, you know? And it's just like, no, I don't think, I appreciate your advice. I had somebody specific I used to work with, and they always had like, here's what I do for my teeth. They were a smoker.
Oh, so bad.
Whatever. Maybe their teeth hacks really did work, but it was canceled out by all the smoking they did.
Sure.
So maybe their teeth would look even worse if they didn't smoke.
You didn't realize
if they didn't do the teeth hacks, and maybe if they didn't smoke, their teeth would look immaculate.
Well,
but I never wanted to take their advice because it didn't look great.
Since none of us ever want to go to the doctor or the dentist, here's another TikTok trend that they're saying don't do.
Yeah.
Don't white your teeth with Mr. Clean magic erasers.
And everybody's looking for the hack. Sometimes the answer's right in front of you. Just brush your teeth, use mouthwash.
Oil pulling is good. I mean, you can do that too.
Sure, maybe.
That one's not bad. It's a
commitment.
Can't hurt,
right? Yeah.
It's a long commitment.
Didn't you used to oil pull?
I did, but like I don't have the time because they say you're supposed to pull for like 20, 30 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And so you're basically swishing a certain way in your mouth coconut oil.
Yeah.
And man,
that sounds horrible.
2 minutes in, you're just like, don't gag. Don't throw up. Don't get sick. Don't spit it out.
Yeah.
But you have to spend so much time with it that I can't
not
add
really
that
practical.
much. Oh, no, I can't
It's not
add
worth
that.
it. Your teeth, they look fine without it.
That's all I'm looking for.
Yep,
I don't need
great.
I just want fine.
Yep, they look fine without
Perfect. Done.
Without it.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
We have an internal strife here at RadioU. We just can't
I thought we were better than this.
We just can't. I knew this would happen.
Eventually.
I knew. I didn't know how it was going to come about. We bought 10 pounds of coffee last week.
5 pounds of it's the New Mexico State cookie.
I think it's bisaquito or something like that.
Yeah, that actually
Maybe I'm giving it too much of an accent.
Nope, it sounds about it. But it's really, really good coffee. It's a pine nut coffee from New Mexico.
Yeah, and that is like the state cookie of New Mexico. I wonder what our state cookie is.
We have 5 pounds of that.
Yep.
And then we have 5 pounds of a maple walnut.
Yep.
And when we first ordered, we thought that was going to be our favorite.
Yep. And and it should be noted that we also didn't intend to buy 5 pounds of each.
It was a sale.
We wanted 2.5 pounds of 4 different flavors, but they didn't have all of the different flavors. So we just got 5 pounds of 2 instead. And as soon as the shipments came in and you see how big the bags are, and I looked at them and I just thought, there is no way we like both of these coffees enough that we're going to be happy with drinking 5 pounds of each. Now, I thought the problem was going to be the cookie coffee.
No, it's
because
not.
It has anise in it, and anise is like licorice, and I thought that's going to be horrible.
It doesn't taste like it, though.
No, but it tastes good. That is definitely
really good.
verifiably good.
It's the fan favorite, I think, out of the 2 flavors.
Yes. So me being the coffee maker, I'm going to be even-handed. I'm going to make the maple walnut because also I've only made it once before. And the first time I made it, I know Nikki didn't like it as much, and I just thought it wasn't quite strong enough. There wasn't quite enough flavor
so you
with
wanted
it.
To add more.
So I beefed up when I made it today for the second time. I put more grounds in it. Not a lot more, but just enough.
It was noticeable because I was going in and I thought we were just making the cookie one for a while.
Well, we can't. We have 5 pounds of the other coffee.
But then you made the other one stronger, so now the maple walnut is even stronger, and it is...
Well...
It is a lot.
All right. Well, I haven't had a sip of it yet, so
I bet you're gonna love it.
It's fair. Yeah, I very well may. Let's find out.
I added cream to mine, and it was worse. It was just awful.
Oh yeah,
no,
this is good.
No,
this is what it's supposed to be like.
Drink it.
It's very mapley. Ooh, that is nice.
Oh man,
that is I was prepared to actually. I was ready to be on your side with this one.
No, now you like
but
it.
No,
like
it
that.
is so maple. Ooh, I'm still getting the maple.
All right, then you have to tell me the days you're making the maple walnut one. I wasn't prepared for today.
Nikki, we have 5 pounds of it.
Why don't we make 2
I'm
coffee
gonna be
pots?
making it a lot. We have it for a long time.
I can't. What if every day I just take a few scoops and I throw it in the trash? Or is there some sort of hack like for outside? Like here,
oh, yeah.
Sprinkle coffee grounds and the ants won't come.
Chris told me, our engineer, he's a coffee guy too, where he has found some of that. He says you can use used coffee grounds. I know he told me you can use them to make like a hand scrub.
Ooh,
yeah, so really soften your skin,
exfoliate your skin.
And he also says you can use them in the garden.
Hey,
and that'll keep some pests away. So there's some ideas.
I'm just not using used ones. I'm using the new ones because I want to get rid of it.
I mean, you can boil it and not drink it, and then use all the used grounds. At least you're getting some use out of them.
Does anybody want to come by for a cup of the maple walnut coffee? I'll just run it out to you.
I just can't believe. I really thought I was going to be the problem, but I was going to suffer in silence.
I am.
Because I always bring coffee from home for my first cup anyways. I was like,
me.
I can make 5 pounds of the cinnamon anise coffee if I don't like it. And nobody will know that I don't like it, and it will just be fine. And then it turns out I like it. And it turns out Nikki is the one. She is the problem with the maple walnut. How can you not like maple walnut coffee?
Here's my cup of coffee. I'm pushing it away from me. I don't want to drink it.
You know what, Nikki? Why don't you just add more cream?
No, I did.
Why don't you just get a more flavorful cream and water it down even more?
I'm all right with this if you'll just tell me on those days. Don't make me be surprised about it again.
Okay.
Because that's the big issue. I wasn't ready for it.
Okay.
And now I want it out of my mouth.
Why don't I schedule the days? Because we have...
How about Saturday and Sunday? You want to take it home? You want to take the coffee home?
You give 1 bag to me and 1 bag to Chris.
Yeah,
we'll just buy 5 more pounds of coffee for the station.
No, I know it's a team effort. I understand that.
Yep.
And I'm really not into coffee like you guys are. So if you like it, I'm fine with it. Just tell me so I don't accidentally drink it.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Now, here's a study that maybe this will be encouraging for some people. It's from the University of Victoria in Canada, and they found that about 2/3 of romantic couples start out as friends. Now, let's be clear about that. That means 2/3 of people who wind up dating
were friends
first. Not 2/3 of people. I just want to be clear. It's not 2/3 of people that are friends start dating each other, because that's a lot different. If you're sitting there with unrequited love from somebody who's in the friend zone.
This says that sometimes we focus on the spark of romance between strangers.
You're right.
But that you might actually have a better chance. And instead, it could be the romance that's centered among your friends.
Yeah.
So you might be able to find the forever someone within your friend group.
You've been looking around in all the wrong places when it turns out the love of your life was right in front of you all along.
Well, I think sometimes people are afraid you'll ruin a friendship.
Yes.
Like it's not one of the right ones.
Uh-huh.
And so instead you have to look for a stranger to be the special someone.
Yeah.
But maybe it's worth the risk, and it could be just in your friend group that you need to find that person first.
Yeah. And it's always, I find that just anecdotal evidence, it's so many of the people that I know that do wind up getting married and seeming to last for a really long time is they are people that knew each other before, where they didn't just meet on Tinder or, whatever the random dating app might be, or just out somewhere. They're people that were friends first. They knew each other for a long time.
Yeah.
And then they wound up dating, which when you first find out they're dating after they've known each other for so long, I always feel that that's a weird thing. It's like, wait a minute. It's just always weird. The time it's like, why now?
Well, they just know.
Either way, it usually winds up working out. And I think a big part of that is when you know somebody for a long time and you're friends with them, you know a lot about them and some of maybe their like quirks or maybe more negative personality traits that you can realize you can put up with and you still like them. Whereas when you just meet somebody and you just go right into dating, it's fun at first, but a lot of times then you're in the midst of dating is when you're finding out about these things, and that can really cause a lot of tumult.
It can wear off and then you break up.
Right.
So they're saying that for friends. So in case you want this information, so you know who to look for.
Yeah.
If you have so many
friends.
friends.
Wait, I have a few friends. Which one should I start dating?
So they say that you should probably have known them for maybe 1 to 2 years before a romantic relationship. Mm-hmm. Most of the participants in this study said they didn't enter the friendship in the beginning with romantic intentions or even necessarily being attracted to them.
Sure.
So they say that the average length of the pre-romance friendship means it's likely that the couples were genuine at that point. Platonic friends before transitioning into more of a boyfriend-girlfriend.
Yeah, so there you go. If you're out there in the dating world, sometimes it's better to look closer than far away. Sometimes you can't see the forest from the trees, is the old saying.
Well, Hudson, though, this is an awful study when it's like, well, wait, but I don't have many friends.
Yeah, right.
You don't even have a special someone. You're like, I don't have friends first.
Why'd you have to give it such a negative turn?
Well,
Negative Nikki.
Oh, I want to be realistic for everybody in case you're like, but I don't have any friends to do this.
So here's what you do.
We need to find a study about making friends.
Go out, make some friends. And,
give it a year or two.
But they said in the study, that people didn't get into the friendships expecting a romantic relationship. So they're already, it's just it's a self-fulfilling parody or a paradox kind of thing right there.
So we can't guarantee this is going to work out for everybody, but at least for if you have a couple of friends, it might.
It's not something you might be able to engineer in your life, but it's something that might just be right in front of you all along.
I know, every time I see
so many romantic movies will tell us.
I see these stories are like, they really assume we have a lot of friends, don't they? I don't know if that's everybody.
Well, fortunately for us, we're both married, so we don't even have to worry anymore. We don't need friends.
I didn't have them.
There are some people that shouldn't have their own podcast. And by some people, we mean these people. RadioU's Worst of the Riot podcast.
I'm just going to get right into it. I feel that a lot of times when we think about God, when we talk about God, we think of him as like he's going to help us deal with stuff, because we're all going through our own things, our own stuff that we do need to deal with. And so it's just like, hey, God, can you help me deal with it? But I think that's like God can do more than that. That's not, God just doesn't want to help you deal like, hey, I know life sucks. I'll help you deal with it. If you're going through something where it's holding you back and it's holding you down, God is able to do more than just help you deal. God is ready to come in and actually set you free from that. Whatever it could be a bad relationship, or it could be some kind of addiction, or it could just be there's just numerous things. It could be big or small, but there are things in our life that hold us back. And it's not just about like, well, I'll just suffer through, but at least I'll have God so I can deal with it. It's not that. God wants to come into your life and set you free from some of those things that you're dealing with so you don't have to deal with it anymore. Jesus is able to do that for you. And it's really as simple as asking for it. Say, hey, God, I'm going through this. I'm struggling with this. This is a problem for me. And I don't want to just have to deal with it anymore. I want to actually be set free. I want something new. I want something better. And I know you can give that to me. Jesus is ready to help you out with that. All you need to do is ask. And if you want to know more, RadioU.com/free gift is a great place to start. So go take a look there and start talking to God and give him a chance to set you free from whatever it is you're dealing with.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
On Friday, Amazon got approval from the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, to start creating bedside radar devices. They track. Is that a
delivery thing?
They track. No.
Like, what are we getting?
It is, well,
oh my gosh, is my package coming to my bedside?
That's right. They can tell. Well, what they do is they notice how much you're tossing and turning, waiting for your package to come, how much sleep you're losing over it, so they expedite it. The truth is, so these are devices that Amazon is presenting them as two things. One, they are devices that they think can really help people who may not be able to, who are either deaf or aren't able to talk, so that they can use sign language to communicate with echo devices and stuff like that, which is actually, that sounds like a nice idea, right? Yeah. But of course, that's the one thing they want to do, but that's not the only thing they want to do. The other thing they want to do is track your sleep and see if you're tossing and turning in the middle of the night.
They want to try to make me order things
during
the night?
Maybe
with my
that's
hands.
it. How did I order all of these toothbrushes? It was because I waved my hand in a toothbrushing motion while I was sleeping.
Amazon's a visionary.
Yeah.
When it comes to ways that, or they think, you'll wake up in the middle of the night and you just remembered suddenly that you wanted to get something, and you'll be able to order it without getting out of bed,
without even
or
speaking.
touching your phone.
No, what is the concern is, what I should say is how they are portraying it is they want to be able to track your movements while you sleep so that they can help improve your sleep patterns and, make sure that you get the best night of rest possible.
Let's just think maybe Amazon is focusing on the first part. They say that they really want it to be a help for disabled or elderly customers who can't use voice-powered assistance because they're not able to speak.
Yeah.
So that actually could be a big help, but there's security concerns, privacy problems, and just that's a whole other realm of motions.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of motions people would be making towards their Amazon devices. Yeah. And that's not a nice one.
Can you track this, Amazon? Take a good look.
I hear that. I hear people screaming that anyways. But it would be more for if you really needed to actually communicate and get something from Amazon. Yeah. Can you do it with motions instead of verbal?
Yeah. So that is... if all else was left beside the bedside, that would be the good thing they're doing. But of course, there's a lot of skepticism around the other nefarious, and it really feels like that's an afterthought. That hey, maybe we can have elderly people that can't speak. Maybe they would be able to use the sign language to do this. Then that's a way for cover for us to track your movements in your sleep, which they're calling it nearable technology.
That's cool
because it's not technology. It's not like a Fitbit where you actually have to wear it or an Apple Watch.
It's just there.
It can still track your health, your sleeping patterns from just being nearby you while you sleep. And there's even skepticism in the sleep community about whether that actually is accurate or helpful at all.
Well, you're so vulnerable then.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're setting that up to. But like, let's say you are able to speak, but instead, your Echo or your Amazon device, if you wanted to turn your alarm off, or they say turn your TV off, you could nod, you could wave, you could do some sort of gesture or sign language with it, and that would then be able to respond to it.
Yeah, I'll give it a gesture.
We would say rate and review the podcast. But let's be honest, that would probably hurt more than help. The worst of the Riot podcast.
Plant-based meats. they're for everybody now.
Well, it's all the rage. It's been very popular the last year or so. Yep. But they say the trend for 21, the year that we're in, it's one of the biggest trends to still keep going from last year.
Yep.
So meat alternatives are still very popular.
They are. And now this is where you wonder if the trend has reached its peak, where it's just gone as far as it's going to go. And it's just gotten too far. And that is the point of oversaturation, I guess you could say, because now at certain select locations, you can get plant-based pepperoni at Little Caesars.
Oh, Little Caesars, you were not supposed to do that.
No, right?
No one's paying for that there.
Believe it or not.
It's a cute name, though.
It is. They call it Planteroni.
Oh, I love that name. Oh, my gosh. Maybe I changed my mind about it. I'm all for that.
You're going to have to get a Planteroni. Well, we can't get it where we are because at the moment, it can only be found in Los Angeles, New York City, Miami, San Francisco, Portland, Oregon, and Detroit.
Oh, if you're in those areas, you can get a Planteroni pizza for $8.49.
That's not even that expensive, really.
And then they're doing slices and sticks. Is that a Little Caesars thing?
It's like it's a half pizza and a half slice, half breadsticks.
Gotcha. Now this is,
cheesy
this would be vegetarian because it still has the normal cheese.
Yep.
But if you want a half Planteroni and a half cheesy breadstick, then that's $8.
So not too bad of a deal. And but doesn't this just feel like, again, when Little Caesars, it's kind of like, when you see your grandma using a certain emoji, you're like, oh, or meme, you're like, this meme is dead. When Little Caesars is using plant-based pepperoni, doesn't that make you feel like plant-based is dead? Or does that just mean it's so widely accepted that it's here to stay for good?
Well, I guess since it's not catering to vegans, if you were a vegetarian, were you just so used to having a cheese pizza? Or is the chance to have a non-meat pepperoni, is that enticing enough to go ahead and pay for that?
Right, because it's an extra.
Still just get cheese?
It's an extra $3. So do you really care about animals that much?
Stop
You haven't cared this whole time. You've been fine eating pepperoni, fine with slaughtering the pigs and cows, and all of a sudden now it's worth the $3 extra to you to try?
No, but again, if you were vegetarian, maybe this would be more enticing.
Yeah, if you always wanted to try pepperoni, or you used to like pepperoni, but then you realized the atrocities, or you just, you couldn't have it on your conscience.
I'm sorry, but what I honestly see Little Caesars doing is messing up the Planteroni pizzas with the,
with all the rest of the things that are on Little Caesars pizza.
Yeah, I could see them confusing that pepperoni for like regular real pepperoni,
right.
And then you're just getting the normal one. Yeah. You're just getting normal pepperoni.
Yeah. Oh, you wouldn't put that past Little Caesars at all.
A lot of places, especially with dairy, do that.
Yep.
They just get confused and you're not getting what you think. So it's field roasted, plant-based pepperoni, and they're testing it, like Hudson said, in LA, New York, Miami, San Francisco, Portland, and Detroit.
It's pepperoni based on a pea protein, which just sounds absolutely horrible, doesn't it?
That's the worst one.
Sometimes you just want less information.
I know.
Sometimes if you just say it's not actually meat, but it's pepperoni, that would be more. That's okay. We could just leave it at that because we didn't want to know pea protein.
This is RadioU's Worst of the Riot.
Well, I've got good news. We're all feeling good.
What's the good news for?
That we are feeling good. Oh. That's the good news. The good news is that we're good, man. We're good. This is a new study. This is actually a Gallup poll has found that 59.2% of Americans say they're thriving.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah, and 73% of Americans say they experienced enjoyment for a lot of the previous day.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. But they say the 59.2% of Americans that say they're thriving, that is the highest rating Gallup has ever recorded on the measure, and that is in the last 13 years they've been asking that question. So we're thriving as we've ever been.
They say it's also the highest, of course. I mean, if it's been more than 13 years, but especially coming with the coronavirus and pandemic stuff, they say that even earlier this year that it just seems like it's much higher and much happier for a lot of people.
You wonder if, like, going over the past 13 years, if this is really the most because there's a few other polls that back this up that have been taken recently. Like 47% of Americans said the country was going in the right direction, and that's the highest they've received on that since 2009, according to that study. Of course, these are just like all individual studies, and you can find a lot of numbers that say a lot of things all the time. But these are comparing to previous studies from the same place, talking to a lot of the same kind of ideas. So why are we so much happier now? And what I'm wondering is, are we really happier now than we were 5 or 10 years ago? Or do we feel happy now compared to last year? Like, the whole last year made us feel so unhappy that now we really feel like we're happy, even though we might not be.
I think it actually might be more of that same exact thing.
You think so?
I think we're probably living the same life.
Yeah.
And for most people, things are kind of just the same.
Right. Are we really thriving?
But you're coming out of it and you're just more happy because you've moved past everything else. Or it's just, it just a little feels a lot better.
Yes, that's right. But I guess you could to put it another way, just feeling happy or feeling like you're thriving is a feeling. Yeah. So it doesn't matter what it's compared to if you say you're thriving. But what it could point to is we're just more appreciative after what we've been through the last little while.
And remember, if you're like, I'm not.
Yeah, there's still
a large group of people that are saying that maybe they're not as happy or not feeling as good.
49% said the country is going in the wrong direction in that same poll. So still more people think we're going in the wrong direction than the right one.
But remember, these are all just feelings. Yep. So if you don't feel the best one day, you just keep going, and I bet you're going to feel better the next day.
Yeah, but it does seem that, at least according to this, we're trending in the right direction.
Good.
And more than half of the country thinks they're thriving. That's good news, right?
We'll take it.
Yeah.
That's a good study there. A lot of times it could be way worse than that.
You're right. A lot of times the numbers, I mean, even from these studies that they did previously, we're like, everybody's upset. The country's going in the wrong direction. We're flushing it down the toilet. And now people are like, you know what? Things aren't so bad.
It's pretty good.
It's funny how having the whole entire country, whole entire world locked down will make you a little more appreciative of the good things, the little things in life. Like being able to leave your house.
What I try to do, too, is I don't look at any of those outsiding things.
Yeah.
I'm just like, me and my little bubble right here.
Yeah.
Yay, we're doing great.
How are you doing in your house? You've got Netflix, you've got Disney Plus, you've got your dogs, you've got all you need. You got TikTok. We're all doing all right.
It's when you start looking outside of that bubble, that's when you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So don't.
I think, actually, real quick, on top of that, I think maybe sometimes, especially after we were so overwhelmed the last year, maybe a lot of us now have been able to dial back in and how much news and what kind of news we're looking at.
And what we're doing.
We can just step back and that stuff, it doesn't always directly affect you, but when you're paying attention to it so much, it can bring you down because it always seems to be negative. So you don't need that one extra stress.
When you take it away, then you can be more optimistic.
Yep, we're doing good.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no, I missed it. Do it again.
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.